In this video, we'll explore how to use the Customer Insights app to analyze customer performance. Setting up Customer Insights is straightforward with the assisted setup. You can turn on the default duration toggle to set the duration to -6 months, meaning data from the past 6 months, starting from the date the job queue is run, will be analyzed. Or you can manually enter a value. I want the duration to be 2 years, so I'll enter -2y. The value must always be a negative number. You can turn on the default date filter toggle to view customer insights for the past 6 months from the current month. Instead, I will enter a formula that allows me to look at the insights for the past 2 years. You can turn on the default early payment formula toggle to set the early payment formula to 2 weeks. This means that an invoice will be considered to be paid early if it's fully paid within 2 weeks of the invoice posting date. I'll leave the default value. Turn on the default targets toggle to set the default target values. These targets, combined with the defined metrics, are used to calculate your customers' scores. Turn the default metrics configuration toggle on to set metric ranges that determine if a customer score is good, average, or poor. If some metrics require additional apps, you'll receive a message prompting you to download them. And if metrics already exist and are enabled, they will not be overwritten. Turn on the Create Job Queue toggle to automatically set up and run a job queue that calculates customer insights weekly. Once the assisted setup is complete, default values are applied to the setup pages, and insights are calculated. You can manually adjust the default targets from the Customer Insights setup page. Because entries have already been calculated, you need to select Change Default Targets. Enter your updated values, and then select Update Default Targets and Entries, and then select Start. This recalculates the entries with the new values. You can also define targets for individual customers. Open a customer record, and select Customer Insights Targets. Because entries exist, I need to select Change Targets, and then enter the targets. I want this customer to reach $25,000 in total sales, not go over $2,000 in credits, and no more than $1,500 in discounts, refunds, and rebates. And then select Update Targets and Entries. You can also manually adjust the metric ranges if needed. Go to Customer Metrics, and select the metric code you want to update. If the metric isn't tied to any calculated insights, I can select the edit icon and enter the values here. But because entries do exist, I need to select Change Metric. For early payment, I want to set it so if 0 to 20% of payments are received early, that is a poor rating. 21 to 50% is an average rating, and 51 to 100% is a good rating. I'll select Ranges Verified to ensure the values were entered correctly. Because I entered the average minimum value as 20 instead of 21, there was an error. I'll adjust the value, and now I can verify the ranges and choose Update Metrics and Entries. To view the customer insights, open a customer record, and select Customer Insights to see the calculated metrics. The fact box provides a description of the insight. The records listed are based on the date filter set during the assisted setup. In this case, 2 years from the current month. The early payment metric measures if invoices were paid early based on the value in the early payment formula field on the Customer Insights Setup page. In this case, 82% of the payments were made within 2 weeks of the invoice being posted. The metrics with average amounts are the ones where a target was set. For total sales, the average monthly total sales over the 2-year duration was $14,603.35, which is an average score. I can drill into an occurrence to see how often an event occurred for each month. I can see the customer's monthly target is $25,000, and I can see what percentage of the month's total sales met that target. For example, the total sales for March 2024 is $20,871.34, which is 83% of the target, giving a good score for that month. But when all the totals are averaged for the duration, this results in the overall score of average. You can select an occurrence to view the records used in the Insights calculation. And now you're ready to use these metrics for informed decision-making about your customers.